Hello, Marcus Guiliano here, international business author, speaker, Forbes Business Council contributor, restaurant success coach, and fellow restaurateur. So let's talk about the lifetime value of a guest and making a guest happy, and what is a guest really worth, and how much should you put up with from a guest about returned food, complaints, things like that. So this is prompted by a comment on a forum on Facebook and one of the groups that I belong to about for restaurant owners. And in the group, people post things, and they ask for support and questions and look for answers. So here's something that caught my attention. My wife and I own a Southern-style restaurant, and this afternoon a lady called in and made an order for fried chicken livers to go. We made her an order, and about 20 minutes later, she picked them up. When she left our restaurant with her food, she went and gave blood. So about an hour later, we get a call from her telling us that her chicken livers were not fresh and crispy, and she wanted us to make her some more. She brought the food back into us for us to see. We explained to her that anything fried sitting in a styrofoam box for well over an hour probably wouldn't be fresh and crispy. She just couldn't understand this and was adamant that we make it right. So it says here, I told the manager, no, we are not making her food again for free. I told our manager to give her money back and take her food back. So this is an interesting scenario, okay? So they didn't want to give the customer their food, or make the food again, but they were willing to give the customer full value back for their food. So if you're running a 33% food cost, theoretically, if you're running 33% food costs or less, you're actually paying 3 times that amount to make this guest probably unhappy now. So for example, if the chicken livers were $3, you have $1 of cost of goods in there. But now they're saying just give the lady her $3 back and tell her no. So literally, you could cook her 3 orders of chicken livers, 3 orders of chicken livers for what you're giving back to her. 3 orders, and say, here you go, enjoy yourself, here's some fresh ones, and we gave you extra ones. And by the way, just make sure next time you don't let it sit in your car in styrofoam and this and that, and we'll be happy to make it for you after you give blood or something. So do you see this scenario? Jamie, are you following this?
I am.
Right? So
Doesn't make much sense.
You've already lost money, and now by giving her full value back, you've lost the customer. Because you're basically saying, no, we're not going to do it. Here's your money back. Talk to you later. So here's the thing that people need to understand, restaurant owners, business owners, the lifetime value of a guest. So for example, for me at the restaurant, I know that in 5 years, and I'm a little higher end, I have a $37 per person average, but for me in 5 years, a guest is worth $6,800, $6,700. And we monitor this all the time, so it changes. So if you hear me in some of my videos, I'll say 69 or 64, 65, because it fluctuates as the year goes on and the average of guests and their spendings. So for me, a guest is worth $6,800. Now, this is a Southern restaurant, fried chicken livers. A guest might be worth $1,000 for 5 years for them, or maybe $2,000. I don't know, but the average guest might be worth that, a regular guest, if you nourish them, market to them, send direct mailers to them, honor them on their birthday, things like that, have a loyalty program. So now here we go. So for a lousy order of chicken livers, which probably doesn't cost much at all, okay, not much at all, they're losing a guest because they're being stubborn to the fact that I'm not going to make this again, and tell her no, it's her fault. Folks, we are in the hospitality industry. We are here to please the guest. There's a lot of irrational guests out there, which I understand that because we have them. We have a guy who comes in every other week all summer long who abuses us, takes advantage of us, and we just don't let him do that. But we have never asked him not to come back again. We just say, you need to be in your best behavior, and you can't expect all this stuff for free. You already have an offer from us, and we lay it up front. So in a case like this, say absolutely, we want you to have our chicken livers while they're crisp. So let me make them over for you again. Here you go. As opposed to pissing this guest off and losing out the lifetime. I see a lot of restaurateurs don't understand it. It's never about one transaction. It's never truly about one transaction in this industry. It's about the second, third, fourth, fifth, the 10th, the 15th, the 100th transaction. Over the long term, that's where you make your money. It's 6 times easier to get somebody in the restaurant the second time versus the first time. So now you've taken this customer, you've pushed them off aside, basically never come back to my restaurant again. Let me fish for a new customer. This lady's already been in your door. She knows who you are. She's ordering your food. All you have to do is market to her and give her properly cooked food, and that's it. And that's it. So you're going to lose out either way on this, either on throwing the food out and giving her more food, or you're going to lose out big time by pissing her off and not having her come back at all. So understand your lifetime value of a guest. Now, folks, for me, lifetime value of a guest is $6,800. I would throw away $200. I would literally throw away $200 on a ticket on a table, knowing that I could keep them as a guest and they were going to come back and back and back. We had an instance this summer where a $65 steak, cowboy steak, was trashed. We ended up comping over $65 steak. We ended up comping over $100 worth of stuff, just like $105 of stuff we comped, just to make the person happy, because I understand. And was the steak bad? No, it wasn't bad. They were regular guests. What happened was they ordered 2 cowboys. One came out properly cooked, one didn't come out. It had to go back into the kitchen, had to get brought up to a new temperature because it was raw instead of mid-rare. So by the time it came back out to them and back out, the other people were, finished eating and this and that, and the person was pissed off. They weren't in a good mood. So the steak, they actually ended up eating most of the steak and taking the steak home, and we still comped $105 off the ticket, okay? Because this is worth $6,800 for me. So this isn't worth arguing about. Like Bob Farrell says, just give them the pickle. When they're coming back, that's when you're making money. So apply this to your business and don't get upset when people try to beat you up in this. Now, some guests are going to always beat you up, and you're never going to see the light from them, the financial light from them. And that's when you just need to say, you know what, I'm sorry, but I don't think the restaurant, we're ever going to live up to your standards in the restaurant here, and it's a shame that we're not, and we can't please everybody. I'm trying my hardest. I just don't think we can ever reach that. You might have to have that conversation with people at certain points. That might be, but this is a simple fix, folks. Most times it's a simple fix. Just give them what they want, give them good food, and take care of them, pamper them, and no other restaurant's going to do that, right? Well, if you were in my town, I would do that. So they're going to come to me as opposed to you. So I have no problem doing that and pampering them. But most restaurants are not going to pamper them like that, okay? You should open them with open arms. Of course, those chicken livers need to be nice and crispy, and of course, I want you to eat them like the way they were designed to be. Next time, just let us know, and we'll cook them fresh for you right after your blood drive. Call. Make them feel special. Make them feel special. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, and until the next video.